My name is Damian. Welcome to Portland. This is America's security guard.
So what type of plate carriers does Echelon use?
So specifically, Echelon requires that we utilize a professional rated plate carrier, but that gives you a lot of options. And one thing to remember is that things in terms of what we wear, what we carry, it's personalized. Now, some officers utilize what's known as a Oregon City carrier. It's a more law enforcement-esque style carrier that covers the entire torso. And a lot of officers utilize a vest similar to this. Now, this specifically is a 511 vest, but it's more of a military style plate carrier. And it's very, in terms of ease of use, for me, I have found that this is the best vest for me, the best carrier for me. It's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit less cumbersome, and getting in and out of a vehicle as much as we do, working around town, moving, potentially having to run, I have found that this is a better vest for me, and a lot of officers utilize a similar style here at Echelon. The weight of the vest can vary. Now, that's going to come down to the equipment that you carry on your vest, the type of plate carrier that you're using, most importantly, the plates. Now, if you're utilizing ceramic or steel plates, generally that's going to lead to a much heavier plate carrier. Personally, I utilize what's known as the flexible rifle armor system from Safe Life Defense. The plates themselves are about a pound, and then I use a trauma plate on the front and the back that's less than a pound. So for me, my entire plate carrier with my accessories and my plates, less than 10 pounds, I would say somewhere around 7 to 8 pounds. And you have to remember, if you're working a 10, 12, 16-hour shift, ounces over time equals pounds, and that's a lot on your back, a lot on your joints. So for me personally, a lighter vest, a lighter carrier, lighter plates, definitely the way to go. I think the type of carrier or vest that you wear along with the plates that you have in conjunction with the accessories that you place on it is so important and has such an impact on how easily you can move and how comfortable you are. I really, up until switching to work for Echelon, had never really thought about how important comfort is. But again, when you're working these 12-hour shifts, these 16-hour shifts, and here in Portland, we're patrolling anywhere from a 5 to a 10-mile radius, a lot of that on foot. It's very important to think about how comfortable your kit is, making sure that you're still getting that adequate protection. But for me, the ease of use, the simplicity of what I'm wearing, and the comfortableness, that comfort level, so important to me. I think that utilities are so specific to each officer. For me, I prefer to have a tourniquet that's easily accessible and visible. I definitely want to make sure that my body camera is easily accessible and visible as well as my secondary and third tertiary backup magazines. Aside from that, I don't really carry much else on my carrier. I do have a dagger right here on the center line. This is what's known as a last ditch kind of parachute. In a situation where maybe I don't have my firearm, I've lost that firearm, and I'm in an absolute last ditch, this would be what you would pull in case of emergency. But aside from that, I do not carry anything that's unnecessary to me on my kit. I think that a lot of officers kind of fall into that trap of having more equipment that maybe that's what's needed. But for each individual officer, this is something that they have to make that decision. I can't tell somebody what they need or what they don't need. As long as it's authorized, as long as they're trained on it, as long as they're safe with it, I don't police what people put on their kits. But for me, less is more. Personally, the most underrated item on my vest is going to be the plates themselves. I know that clearly the important part of our vest is going to be for protection. I have found a combination of plates that I feel adequately protects me, but more than anything, it's so comfortable. And having worked in private security for the past 5 years, I haven't always been comfortable in my carrier. This carrier I have no problem wearing for a full day. I don't have any issues with my back, with my joints, with my legs. I'm a big fan of that. So for me, the most underrated item is going to be the plates themselves. So unfortunately though, working here in Portland, working in the demographic that we deal with, sometimes you get bodily fluids or other things thrown at you, or you can just, it can make its way onto your vest. So in terms of cleaning, you just take everything off, you take the plates out and you throw it in the washing machine. Now, I have heard that you don't want to wash these multiple times. It can cause problems with the Velcro. My wife is a seamstress. If I ever need something repaired or fixed, that's something that I have access to. And at the end of the day, if things get worn, if they get to a point where you can no longer use them safely, you just have to buy another one. In terms of getting used to wearing a ballistic vest, you really just have to jump in. If you're not a military serviceman, if you're not a veteran, if you've never worked in law enforcement or security before, it can be extremely difficult to get used to. It is very cumbersome. It is something that you have to get comfortable with. But again, just put it on, jump right into the deep end, wear it every single time that you're on your shift, and sooner or later, you'll kind of forget that it's even there. At the end of the day, guys, whether you're an armed security officer or you're an unarmed security guard, I am a huge, huge proponent, fan, and believer that every security guard should be wearing a ballistic vest. Not just a stab vest, but a ballistic vest. It is so important, and I can't stress this enough. If you're working for a company that's not providing you a vest and you're hell-bent, dead set on working in this industry, you have to do whatever you can to make sure that you're personally protected and that you have that type of body protection, body armor. If you can't afford it, there's a lot of companies out there that have what's called an angel program where they will actually provide you that vest for free. All you have to do is Google it. A lot of companies, a lot of groups out there, and you can even reach out to your local sheriff's department or police department, explain to them who you are, what you do, where you're working, and depending on where you're at, some of those agencies will actually gift you a vest as well. Again, I can't stress to you guys how important it is to make sure that you are safe and you are protected. Stay vested up. Hey guys, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe this video, but also make sure that you guys become a part of our community here at Opsec Media Group. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the page and let other people know what we're doing and what we're building here. And if you're looking for work, reach out to Echelon Private Security Services here in Portland. We're always hiring. Be great.